What up, everybody? What's happening? All right, so let's get into Forgotten City, Part 3. We were just out the Sistine, and then it was just kind of like, hey, um, that's probably going to be a pretty significant section, so we're doing it. Meant to go up earlier, just kind of because I wanted to stream sooner rather than later. I just didn't get a chance, so we'll have to go through some loading screens for a little bit. All right, and then let's see, Forgotten City, press any button, continue as Bachal, and then 1 second. All right, we are in the Upper Sistine. What is there a captive down here? Why does Tyler hate sharing? Does hate sharing food? What's happening, Mr. Peapod? I hope your Sunday's going well.
You? Who are you? Did he send you?
I'm Bachal and no one sent me.
Do you know you're here? You have to help me escape before that monster comes back. I'm Scintilla. I found a way out through the Gate of Horn, but it's locked. So I told him about it, and instead of helping me escape, he locked me.
This is where Scintilla had.
He wants to keep us all here forever, or until we're turned to gold. He's a monster. You have to let me go so we can kill him and take his key.
Who has
Sentius, my adoptive father. Furies help me.
Oh,
I'll
no.
castrate and crucify him.
Don't give a ride to the old one. He hates sharing food. Hey, you know what, though?
I don't know.
It's like...
He said the gods are on his side
good.
because they don't want us to escape either. I'm going to take that key from around his neck, even if it means cutting his throat to get it. I'm done caring about the golden rule. I just want out. Help me, and we can escape together. There won't be enough time. Just you and me. What do you say?
What if I...
There's no time. Wait, did you hear that? He's here. Quick, you have to let me go. It's now or never. Oh,
All right, let's go.
thank you. Now follow... Wait, did you hear that? He's here. He must be coming in through the door behind me. You distract him. Stay right here and keep him talking while I look for something I can use.
Oh, man.
What did you do with Scintilla? Where is she?
You're human garbage. You know that?
So that is how it's going to be. Oh well, this doesn't change anything for me. It's a shame, really, if you'd just done what you were supposed to. You'd have been looping through time forever until you gave up and killed yourself. Just like that soft-hearted pleb, Al.
Oh, you remember
Come
Al?
now. Surely you didn't think you were the only one here who remembered everything. You see, my connection to the portal somehow preserves my memories from one loop to the next. Whether that was Proserpina's intention or a happy accident, I'll never know. But I'm surprised you hadn't noticed. Here I was thinking you were a little bit sharper than Al was. Or perhaps you're just more willing to break the rules. He was a moralistic fellow, never once compromised on his principles. And because of that fatal flaw, He relived this day many thousands of times before we finally had this conversation. I watched him come through the portal each time, always a little older, a little more disheveled, a little more haunted. And when he finally saw the
I can't believe
futility of it all, as you're about to, it broke him. He drank a jug of wine,
just doing
tied
this.
a noose around his neck, and took his own life, just before he was shot with a golden arrow. The next time I awoke, you showed up, but you've caught up to where he was so quickly. I'd have preferred if you'd given me more time to enjoy the trappings of my success. How many extra days did you give me? Just the 7? Not a lot compared with Al, but
Oh.
I've seized every day, nonetheless. In any case, there's no escape for you except the path that Al took, the path he wrote about on his tablet. What was it? Ah, yes. Better to end it all now than find out what awaits you beyond that portal. So, you discovered my secret. So what? What are you going to do about it?
Why?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because I have grown attached to all this. My title, my beautiful villa, the sun on my face, the music of birds chirping. And as long as this day keeps repeating itself, I get to enjoy it all, over and over again, for eternity. Don't you see? I have found a way to prolong my life indefinitely, to cheat death. I have become, in effect, as immortal as the gods. Can you honestly say you would not wish the same for yourself?
Coming back to that comment later, Mr. Peabody. Let's see.
Do you really think you can take on a Decurion in unarmed combat, boy?
I may not be armed, but I'm pretty sure she is.
Scintilla? Where is she?
I'm right here, Father.
The many shall suffer
I have his
for the sins
Take
of
it
the
over
one.
the gate. Come on, we have to go. Hey, what's happening to you?
Oh,
That
the
light,
paradox.
It's so bright.
All right. So that's not the real way to beat the game.
Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fright. Thought I was in here alone. I'm Al.
Alworth, I came in to
Well,
find you.
here I am. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. Really?
Mitchell.
That's strange. I was just reading an old tablet I found here. Well, trying. My Latin is kinda rusty, but the last entry mentioned someone with the same name. It described an event about 2,000 years ago. Someone with your name appeared in the city out of the shrine of Proserpina. Freed an imprisoned woman named Scintilla, who then murdered her captor, breaking some kind of ancient law. It said the attack caused golden statues to come alive, hunting down everyone in the city and turning them into gold. Apparently, the only person to survive was Scintilla, while the stranger disappeared in a flash of light.
Actually, that was me.
What? You're saying you were here 2,000 years ago? I'm not sure I understand.
When I first arrived present day, I found your corpse hanging from it.
I'm sorry, come again?
I saw the student senate carved in the tablet here.
Let me see that. God, why does this writing look so familiar?
It's your
I've
writing.
spent a lifetime in this place going around and around in circles. This is disturbing. But I don't understand how I could have written it.
It's written by a different version of you. I changed the past in your
I'm not following.
Oh, Scintilla killed the man who opened a time portal and drew you back in time, preventing you from remembering.
So you're saying, because a man from 2,000 years ago is dead, he never created a time portal, so I never went through it, and that's why I don't remember any of this. I guess you saved my life then, as well as helping that poor woman to escape. That's a lot to take in.
Al is very accepting of this, and I've talked how to get out of
Maybe
this
we
place.
can escape through the same aqueduct Centilla used, if we can find it.
It's right in the cistern. Follow me. Let's see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not what you're supposed to do. Okay. All right, Mr. Peabody. Yeah, that is preferably not the best way to do for. And then I guess question: have you ever done anything like?
I'm gonna pause here for a moment and make sure nobody else has ever lured into this temple.
Good idea.
You go on ahead. I'll be there soon.
Have you ever done anything like hot pot or Korean barbecue? Generally, that requires, like, everyone has like a big pool of food that you either boil in a broth or use in a group fire. Good group activity, but one of those cases you definitely have to share the food in that case. I'm assuming whatever this is going to be like the bad ending, right? We can reload and keep going.
You're back! But you're alone. Does that mean you didn't find Al?
Found him. He'll be here.
Ah, what a relief. Thank you so much. I was beginning to think you'd both
They
become
do not
trapped in there.
deserve it.
Why don't you tell me what you discovered while we wait?
I discovered your real name is
Ah, I see. I thought you might. Well, now you know. I suppose you have questions.
So definitely is Chiron. Who are you?
You can just call me Charon, if you like. I am sorry I was not completely honest with you when we first met. I do not enjoy deceiving people. Believe me, I do not. But I have learned, from 5,000 years of experience, that most people find comfort in familiarity, in gradual change, and coming to see the truth in their own time. That you died, of course. You were dead when I brought you here. My role, as the servant of the god of the underworld, has always been to assist the chosen to cross the threshold from the land of the living to the land of the dead.
Okay, yeah.
Usually, when people do not remember how they died, it is because they suffered a terrible trauma.
It's a weird effect.
Most
It's kind of
souls
going
would
into the
rather
center
not
of the
remember.
eye.
Ask yourself honestly, do you really want to know?
I suppose.
A wise decision. All you need to know is that you and Al died in possession of a sacred silver coin.
What's so special? about this
Perhaps
coin?
you have heard the tales of the Greeks and Romans burying their dead with a coin in their mouths to pay the ferrymen for passage across the river. Well, those stories contained a seed of truth, but not any coin would do. A long time ago, my master created 1,000 silver coins and had me distribute them across the world. My orders were simple. Whenever a person died in possession
You have
of
a villager
coin,
named Al. In
I was to
NPC?
locate them
Nice.
and ferry them here.
What's the type of animal?
That is a question you would have to ask him, if that were still possible. In
Oh,
light
okay.
of the path
So that's
you
why
have
we know
chosen.
it's not the.
I am just his servant, doing his bidding. Only now, I find myself bereft of purpose. You see, the coins on you and Al were the last of the 1,000 in existence. There is nobody else to ferry here. Nobody to keep you company. After 5,000 years, the underworld has finally
Gorilla.
run its course.
Al the gorilla. You return us to the land of
I
life.
see no point in keeping you here. But I have to ask one thing. That you keep this to yourself.
Look! Here comes Al now. Al! It's so good to see you. You were gone so long I thought I'd never see you again.
Kinda lost track of time in there. You wouldn't believe what we found.
Oh, Al.
The ruins of a long-forgotten city. And there was a tablet describing an event 2,000 years ago. Supposedly, the city was destroyed when a woman murdered a tyrant with the help of, well, my new friend here. I know how crazy that sounds.
Maybe not that crazy. That woman. I don't suppose her name was Scintilla?
How could you... What?
She left a tablet of her own. I stumbled across it while I was waiting here. I think she meant for you to read it. Here, take a look.
Oh, okay. This is a pretty lengthy, like...
I don't know
That
what became of you, or if you'll ever read this, but I want you to know that I will never forget you, or what you did for me. It pains me that so many dear friends were not so fortunate. Ulpius, Sentia, Lucretia, Horatius, Galerius, poor Dooley, and the others. But please understand, their blood is on my hands, not yours. I will live with the consequences of my actions, and all I can do is move forward, trying to show others the same compassion you showed me. I promise you that saving my life will not be for nothing. Scintilla.
Sounds like you meant a lot to her. I'd love to hear your story, but first, you two look exhausted. Why don't you hop in my boat and rest while I ferry you back to civilization?
Sounds good to me.
And you? Are you ready to go home?
Alright. The one that got away. Okay. Ending 2 of 4. Okay. There's still a lot to do. So let's try to get that better ending. No. Oh, it's only a team of, what, 3? So we can definitely go through that. I don't think playing Roblox is bad at all. There's a couple of things that I am not a fan of Roblox doing. What was it? There was like the Paris Hilton store that they opened up in Roblox, kind of like their metaverse thing. It's like, I think it's like, conceptually I think it's neat, but because Roblox has a much younger audience, I'm just kind of like, I don't know if a Paris Hilton collection would be best in Roblox. Okay.
You. Thank Juno. I'm Scintilla. I found a
Yeah,
way
there
out
was definitely
through
the
gate
Gucci
of
home store.
Dawn.
Yeah, was it Gucci? There's
Sentia. I don't know. He said the gods are on his side. I'm good. I'm done. There won't be There's no... What?
It's too dangerous. Let me see if I can persuade Sentius to let you go.
It's no use. You'll never.
I'm sorry. I need to try.
You're making a mistake.
Oh. I missed the water. There's a... Tyler is from Roblox? Is that where you came up with the idea, or do you mean, like, canonically? Tyler is from Roblox. Oh, it's Pendant. Sendia death. that a skeleton? Combos.
Please.
I'm surprised that didn't break the golden rule. Crush child. What was it? Oh, was it the picture of the two Roblox guys that you had asked me to look up originally? Yes. Yes, I do. But he has no wolf ears. Okay. That's how you who you base the character on originally, I should say. I think I'm stuck. Quiver. Yes, okay. Or there's just stairs that go right up. Loading. Oh, all right. Let's save the game. Rips up the newspaper. Well, I mean, in your universe, they're very. They're out to get him. So I could definitely see why he would not be a fan. Alright, Sentius, let's talk.
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name?
I'm Chanh. We had this conversation.
Wait, I must have entrusted you with... Is that a...
What happened?
You broke it.
Trying to
Well, it seems you failed. Look, it's unfortunate. Now,
Alright, I know what you did with Scintilla.
What are you talking about?
Keeping her tied in the system.
You know, you remind me of him.
Who?
Al Worth.
You remember him?
Come now. You see, Mike, but he was a mob, and because of, I watched, and when he finally saw, the next time, I mean, you ate most, and yet, because there's no escape, except the path that, so, you'd...
Why?
Why? And as long, I have found a way to, and why would I...
If you don't have it over...
You and your understand that you might want to think that the only way you'll get and you see, it was my actions that brought you. That means if I die, you'll be flung back.
This isn't over.
I certainly hope not. In fact, I want it to go on and on forever until you wither and die like Al did, and the gods send yet another useful idiot to extend my life for me.
I'll find a way to break the cycle, and you with it.
What are you going to do? Beg the gods for help? They don't care about you, and neither do I. Now, get out of my villa. I'm bored with you.
Okay. Point of origin. Collect all of them. Alright. I don't love it, but let's go. Let's do that bow quest.
Are they?
Yeah.
Is proof of a degenerate mind.
Now
Oh,
with
wait.
the... Oh, wait a minute. Still need... Let's try to talk to Orpheus. See if we can convince him. Are you the one?
No idea. Yes, so. And why should I? Well,
Why would you care?
there is only one true God.
Who was said they do unto others as they would do unto you?
I am doing that. If I was about to get everyone else killed, I would want someone to stop me. Smart. Now get... I have nothing to say to you, Kaput.
Okay.
You there! I'm sorry to trouble you, but I am but
Go on.
tell me. And here I was, now
Okay.
I can't help but with you and even look, I might have skimmed over that one, but don't be so pedantic. Are you interested or not?
A gorilla stream. It is. That sounds grossly
Oh, I'm not suggesting we use such a bow on people. There's no profit in breaking the golden rule.
That keeps going.
Excellent. So the first question is, how do we get our hands on one of those golden bows? Now, I have a plan, but first, tell me.
Oh, we did? I am.
Good. Diana, the one, and it just, and would you like
Golden bow.
precisely?
Let me
Oh,
see.
God's no. No, here's what I propose. You enter the shrine, but make no mistake, but in my experience, now. Because the gods would see you have...
Alright, that's all the questions
So,
I had.
are you...
Alright, I'll do it.
Wonderful. Now, if you'll hand over your bow, I can get started applying a layer of gold leaf. This is a quality weapon.
Oh,
Now,
is he gonna get a replacement?
Bear with me for a moment.
Alright.
And here we are, a gold leaf bow.
Fit composite bow. Alright.
Now I've gone and unlocked the Shrine of Diana for you, so as quick as you can, head on inside. It's just at the end of the street on the left. May the gods not watch over you.
Alright. Let's save it. So that. I don't know what I was supposed to do. Okay. Let's go through the... Swap out the golden bow for...
Is that you, partner? Do you have the bow?
Did you get that? Yes, I have.
Wonderful. Just go ahead and slide it under the door for me and I'll unlock it for you.
I knew I shouldn't have
And
trusted
yet you did. And now, here we are. With me out here and you in there. Until you give me my bow.
Oh, this is not the golden rule. You said you split the riches between the two of us.
No, technically, I never said that. I said, if we were to split all those riches between the two of us, infinite wealth is still infinite. It's hardly my fault if you can't tell the difference between a hypothetical and a promise, now is it? Oh, I do love a good loophole.
You know what? I have to support him. I'm gonna trust
You're just gonna have to
after
take
you
your
deploy.
chances, I'm afraid. The bow, now. And don't even think about giving me the fake one. I'll recognise my own handiwork.
I'll find another way out.
I would reconsider my position quickly if I were you. I'm not sure if you noticed, but you're stuck in there with a hornet's nest, and they can be
Technically.
rather aggressive toward intruders. You know, some say it takes 27 hornet stings to kill a man, but I always wondered how anyone could have known that. Let's find out if they were right, shall we?
Wait, why is there more? Escape the temple. More arrows? It's time for butt whooping. Oh, it's another sponge stick. I'm gonna dual wield those. Much more devastating than a bow that turns people into gold statues. Much arrows. Oh! This is how you use the stuff that could support your weight. Amazing. Kind of feel bad not, oh, this was the kid that, when we went there, that sucks. Picks up the bow, rip and tear. Can you imagine some Greek music on an 8-string guitar? And then Mr. Peabody, what did I get? I'm not sure.
My beloved Galatea,
About what,
I
reading
write
it?
this
About
so
breaking?
that one day, when we're finally together, you will understand what I've done and why I had to do it. The others will call me mad. My beloved Galatea, I write this so that one day, when we're finally together, you will understand what I've done and why I had to do it. The others will call me mad or a monster, but I don't care what they think. Everything I'm doing here, I'm doing for you. I'll start at the beginning. Soon after my arrival here, as I walked down a corridor lined with golden statues, I thought I heard a whisper behind me. A rasp of air, as if vocal cords of metal strained to say a word or two. I tried to dismiss the idea, tried to concentrate on my work as the city's medic, but that tortured whisper haunted me. Weeks later, in the hallway to the bathhouse, I heard it again and found myself drawn to the statue of a Roman woman wearing a stola. Her face was contorted with anguish and fear, and, disturbingly, it was as if she was looking right at me. As I walked past her, I heard that strange whisper again, and turning back, I discovered that even though I had moved, she was still looking right into my soul. That was when it dawned on me. This was no statue. This was a woman. Trapped within that golden prison. Naturally, I told the others, but when I could not reproduce the results of my experiment, they would not believe me. But from that moment on, I knew the full horror of this place. Immobilized within these statues are living human beings. It was that day, my love, that my heart broke.
This is terrifying. Da-da-da-da. So what happened? Or not what happened, but how are those... Did she just remove enough gold that they can move? Is that what that's supposed to be? Oh, peeled statue. Sorry. Sorry. So they're still alive in there, but they are peeled so that they can still move. That is horrific. This is terrifying.
You're not supposed to be here.
So this is what you did, huh? Okay. I will be just doing some of that. Alright, we're gonna check this door first, though. Whispering voice. Dang it. Also blocked. Later, nerds. It's Pachal from Jade Falcons. Don't forget it. Oh. For good measure. Got 89 arrows. Your army can't protect you forever. Catch you later. My ammunition is slowly depleting, but not... I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Let's see. Coin pouch. Cool. More coin pouch. The other side of the statue. Alright, lady. I know you think you're doing the right thing. Oh. I say that as I loot. $100 arrows. Alright, we're ready. Key to Palace Doors.
My beloved Galatea, after I learned the terrible truth about
Custom
the
rack to hold down
statues,
golden statues and
I
peel the gold
wandered
layer
the
from...
city
Ooh.
as if in a nightmare. What must life be like for these poor souls, entombed in gold, but kept alive somehow? Trapped in their own personal Tartarus, consigned to eternal torment, too horrific for any sane mind to comprehend. I tried to offer them what small mercies I could. I began to talk to them, to keep them company. I'd imagine backstories for them, give them names, and tell them of the world, of the histories and stories I'd learned as a child. As the others became more concerned by my charity, I sought solitude
So this
from
is why
them,
she's
preferring the
statues.
company of my tormented charges. Discovering a way into the abandoned palace, I began to spend my days walking its halls and sharing with its occupants ancient tales, my mind turning to those of Apollo and Daphne, Perseus and Medusa, and Pygmalion and Galatea. Pygmalion, the sculptor who fell in love with a beautiful statue, and who, praying to Aphrodite for aid, discovered that his beloved Galatea had come to life. It was then that I heard you whisper to me, Galatea. Forgive me. I know that is not the illusion, one I have borrowed from the story. But when I turned to look at you, I saw the most exquisitely beautiful woman I have ever known. Your face, forever frozen in a look of painful sadness. Our meeting gave me new purpose, to free you from your golden prison, so that I might one day hear you speak, not just whisper your true name to me. So I gathered tools for the long and difficult task ahead, barred the doors to this place, and set to work.
Ooh, that is a sick pose, though. Like, sorry, you're trapped there for eternity. That is actually kind of cool. All right, is there anything? Oh! Hey! Hey, hey. I guess I was probably meant to hit that silk a lot sooner. How much? I have 2,000 dinar. Okay. This is a pretty big.
Kill us.
Oh.
Kill me.
The gold.
You.
Help us. Whoa!
Kill us.
Come on now. Oh, there's two more. Nap. Sorry, first come, first serve. Gold statue, I am trying to loot. Thank you. Come on. Oh. That didn't work for all of them. Excuse me. So how did she survive? Well, I guess it's only like
My beloved Galatea,
one day.
my attempts
There's
at
been-
freeing these souls from their golden prisons have not been going to plan. My first charge was a Greek woman who I called Iodame after the Athenian turned to stone by Medusa. Drilling through the gold that encased her, I was vindicated by the discovery that beneath half an inch of gold, which is so rigid it must be some kind of alloy, was living flesh. Unfortunately, this golden alloy seems to have fused with her skin, so removing it exposed the sinew and muscle beneath, and appeared to cause her great pain. At first, I braced myself, expecting that inflicting such pain would break the golden rule, and yet, somehow, it did not. It seems whichever god is responsible for imprisoning these poor souls does not care about their suffering at all. They are forsaken. Undeterred, I pressed on, working late into the night, attempting to remove the golden layer that
Oh, in the
encased her
hand.
as delicately as I could. Eventually, I was able to free most of her body, but when I released her from her restraints, her first act was to lunge for my throat, clawing at me with all her strength from those sharp metal talons. this was my thanks for trying to save her. Whatever possessed Iodami to attack, she was clearly not a suitable subject for my experiment, and I was forced to lock her inside an isolated wing of the palace
This got real
and
grim.
bar the door. As I continued working on others, I could hear her flailing and launching herself at the other side endlessly. Regrettably, my other experiments bore similar results, and
This
after
is-
relocating a
Oof.
few times, most of the palace is now too dangerous to work in. Still, as much as my heart aches to know that you're suffering, I cannot risk attempting to ungild you yet. Not until I have perfected a method that will bring you back to me, whole in both mind and body.
Me. You can talk? Okay. Who are you? Are we gonna throw down? You must be Navia.
And you must be the wretched snake who broke into my palace and disturbed my experiments. And worst of all, look at what you made me do to her. This never would have happened if you just stayed away. You're going to pay for that.
If you attack me, we'll both up encased in gold.
And you think I care about that? I don't care what happens to me, as long as you get what you deserve.
This had nothing to
Liar!
do with me.
I locked and barred the gate. I left a message warning you all to leave me alone. I just wanted to do my experiments in peace, for her. And now look at her. You made me turn the most beautiful woman I've
Now
ever
it's
seen
my
into
fault.
this. Look at her. She's in agony. All I wanted was to spend my last moments with her, to see her beautiful face, to hear her speak freely,
Oh, 1 second.
instead of in those cryptic whispers. But as soon as I began my work, she stopped whispering to me. And now I discover she started whispering to you instead. What's so special about you?
It's not just this statue. A lot of them do it. It's
What do you
always the
mean, the same voice?
same. It's like someone else is whispering to me. Sounds like someone else is whispering to me through the statues.
Yes. I remember when they used to whisper to me. They did sound
I
similar.
can't believe you made Navia
I
do
just
this.
thought it was because all voices sound the same when they whisper.
They do
But
not
now
sound
that
the
I
same
think
when they
about
whisper.
it, they were all benevolent and seemed to share a common knowledge. But if these bodies are mere conduits for that one voice, then this body is nobody. And everything I've done here was... Wait, I see what you're doing. You're trying to steal her away from me. Were you planning to wait until I'd done all the hard work, then swoop in? Is that it?
I literally shot an arrow at her when I walked in the room.
Liar! You tried to steal her away from me, and now look what you made me do. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't peel you too.
I ended up by here accident. All I want to do is leave.
What? What are you talking about?
Got trapped in the tunnels into the city and came up inside the palace.
Wait. So you're saying you weren't coming for us?
I had never.
So I
any
did all
intention of hurting
this.
you.
I ruined her. For nothing.
Well,
What have I
yes,
done?
but that's.
Oh God, I feel sick. I can't bear the thought of her being like this. And in so much pain. It's the air coming into contact with her flesh. It's agonizing for them. But the only way to fix it will be to break the golden rule and let it run its course. At least that way she'd be golden again, and we'd be together. All it would take is one little cut.
Wait, I can undo all this if you tell me the treatment for rheumatism.
It's too late. There's nothing you can do. I have to do this. I'm sorry.
can wind back time.
What? Wind back time?
Listen,
What are
I'm
you
just trying to be
talking about?
honest here. Typical Jade Falcon. I'm
What?
reliving the same day over and over.
How is that possible?
I just need to go back to the Shrine of... I always butcher.
Goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. Of course. But I'm confused. If you've harnessed the secrets of the gods, why tell me?
Because you'll never
I
remember
see.
this guy.
Well, I'll trust you to honor our bargain. But if you don't, mark my words, I'll break the golden rule and kill you and everyone else in this city.
Fair.
The treatment for rheumatism is willow bark. I believe there's a pot of it already in the Shrine of Apollo. Now, please leave. The door here leads out onto the palace balcony. You should be able to make your way down from there. Go.
Goodbye.
And never return.
Don't worry. I have no intent of ever coming back here. Oh man. This is the most excessive thing ever to try to get one's blood name. Do I need to do this? I haven't done it. Oh, I guess I could have just used that.
I hope you're coping.
Yeah, something like that.
Feeling all right?
I figured
You
out.
made it
how
into
to
the palace. I'm impressed. How is Nevia?
Maybe it's out. Want to be left alone, then the treatment is Willow Bark.
Willowback. I should have known. It was under my nose the whole time. That's very helpful. Thank you. If this works, it should settle Rufius down some. I have some right here. Could you do me a favor and give him some of this? He'll just need to swallow a pinch of it. I'm hoping it will avert disaster.
Alright,
Thank you. I'm really glad you arrived when you did. That's a shame. Thanks again for saving Yulia's life. Apollo smiles upon you.
Hey, Rufus.
I have nothing to say to you, kaput murder.
Alright. Let's reset.
How come you're allowed a weapon and I'm not?
Can we keep this? No. Will it's any use? No. But
I'm not supposed. Demetrius, this is outrageous.
The many shall suffer
the maniac
the sins of
get
the one.
achievement. Trigger the golden rule by stealing 5 times. Let's go. What's up, statue? Ow. Alright. Now we're back.
Salve, friend. Mind tell...
I need to take care of some things urgently.
Sounds serious. Yulia. All right, let me see. What? I'll go.
All right. Let's go. Oh, it's the other ones. Let's go talk to Rufius.
You, Tantalus, cannot catch the drops of...
Name's Rufius. Better watch your step.
About your
What business is that of yours?
Regular treatment. Eat a pinch of this willow bark and you should be better in no time.
Willow bark? And this will work? Oh, thank God. Finally, some relief. This is what I've been praying for. Maybe God hasn't abandoned me after all. Thank you. I've been in a lot of pain lately.
Super greedy. Super greedy. Sorry, I just
Cursed
saw that.
statues always watching in the crisis of faith. It was too much. Started messing with my head. This is exactly what I needed to
That's
set
why
it
he was
straight
so
again.
ornery.
I owe you one.
What? Quick, give it
Are you the one threatening?
No idea what you're talking about.
I know.
It's fine. And I know I'll leave him alone from now on. It's not as if I was ever going to hurt him anyway. I was just lashing out.
Oh.
Just forget this ever happened. Will you?
All right. No problem. Yes. Okay. So we pretty much just have... Oh. Alright. Let's go take care of side quests.
Ah, a new face. Salve. I hear we have you to...
Don't worry about the threats, just Rufius, he's never gonna hurt me.
What demon or spirit told you about that?
Don't sweat it. I found an incomplete note in his house.
You went snooping in his place? That was risky. We're lucky you didn't cross any lines. Have you spoken to him about it?
Yeah, it won't be bothering you anymore.
Really? How did you manage that?
I found a treatment for his rheumatism, which I've been agitating and compounding some other personal issues.
Poor fellow. I've heard that can really mess with a
Lion
person's
tamer.
head. Well done for figuring that out.
Happy to help. I think he went to go clean up his graffiti too.
Really? That's promising. I'll keep an eye out for him.
Alright.
Nice to talk to you.
Citizen.
Rufius.
What? Are you messing with me?
Nope, he's not messing with you. Later, bye. We have the bow. We have a thing that we couldn't cross. I was trying to Skyrim run across it for a bit. But now we have the golden bow. So let's try to get that. See what's there. treasure hunter. Find treasure using the golden bow. Oh, alright. That was anticlimactic. But okay. Leaves. Kind of stuck, actually, because she wasn't going to give me the plaque, and then will Rufius give me the plaque?
Salve and welcome. Need something?
I'll be going.
All right. Thanks again.
Oh wait, or maybe. Alright, chat, gonna need some help. What am I missing for the Roman plaque? Because... Oh, oh man, that tea's so bitter. Egyptian plaque. Oh, yeah. Let's focus on this one. And then... because this one we have a current lead on. Give me a sec to check. Oh, yeah. No worries. Hopefully it's like... unless it's something that I should...
Oh, you're
things out of
here.
order.
I'm so glad you decided. And there's a...
Don't waste your breath. I know you're a horrible person.
How dare you? Oh, do us all a favour and drink.
Oh, dang it.
Oh, do us all a favour.
Should have started nicer. Okay. Haha. Search the tunnels for Kabash. Oh, this is really expansive. Okay. So it is speaking with Rufius. I wish the menu had a way that... Holy cow. This place is massive. Archaeologist. Discover what lies beneath the city.
You carry the gift of Prometheus in your hand. Remarkable. Welcome, welcome. May I ask your name? It's a sincere pleasure to meet you. Tell me, what brings you all the way down here?
I'm looking for Kabash.
Ah, Kabash. I know this man. He came through here some weeks ago.
Weeks?
I will tell you everything I know, but first, a request. I have been living down here alone for many years, with nobody to talk to but myself. The one thing I long for above all else before I die is a good philosophical argument with somebody astute. I'm hoping that person is you. Let us find out with this simple question. Have you deduced the name of the god responsible for the Golden Rule?
Pluto, god of the underworld.
Excellent. I see you are indeed quite astute. Very few come to that realization before their time in the sun is over. Now, will you join me in a friendly Socratic dialogue?
Sounds
Wonderful. Then let me begin with a question. Would you say you know the difference between right and wrong?
I'm not sure. It's a
You are an overthinker too. We're the same then. It is probably why I became a philosopher. But if you struggle with right and wrong normally, then down here with the Golden Rule, surely your struggle can only have become more difficult.
It is.
Well, that's reassuring. And the truth is, you're not alone. You see, out there in the world, being uncertain about right and wrong was acceptable, because our mistakes rarely had consequences. So we would tell lies and bend rules and turn a blind eye and rationalize, and yet still find a way to think of ourselves as good people. But under the Golden Rule, morality matters. The slightest wrongdoing could result in a mass execution. So to navigate this maze, we would have to be certain about the difference between right and wrong. Wouldn't you agree?
Whose version of right and wrong?
That is an excellent question, and it leads directly to my next line of inquiry. So let me ask you this. Is there one system of morality which is always perfectly correct, which you could follow in every situation and always do the right thing?
No.
Are you sure? Or is it possible that humans simply haven't figured out the right system yet?
I don't think there's such thing as...
So is it up to each of us to decide what right and wrong mean to us individually? Or must we simply follow the laws and customs of whichever community we're in?
I think we need
So
to do
if a man feels that stoning to death his unfaithful wife is right, then is it right?
No.
I agree. But why? Didn't you just say right and wrong depends on the individual?
Fine.
And that's a credit to you. It is the mark of a civilized person to change their position when presented with a superior argument. My point is this. I don't think anyone alive truly knows any hard and fast rules about right and wrong. If there is one thing I have observed about rules, it is that virtuous people do not need them, and evil people will always find a way around them. And so we must accept our limitations, and the sad truth that no human society will ever achieve the utopia for which it strives. In mathematics, we would call it an asymptote, a line that can be approached but never reached. Because the only way to create a utopia is with the ever-present threat of force, such as the Golden Rule. This and no other is the root from which a tyrant springs when he first appears as a protector. And life under tyranny is no utopia at all.
I'm glad to hear that. In any case, thank you for humoring
I think
an
that's...
old man.
Yeah, I may not...
I would be happy to answer
I don't
your
know.
questions.
I don't know if I agree with that, but I appreciate the discourse.
You mean, how did I end up living alone in this cave with nothing but these relics of the past for company? It's a long story.
I'm listening.
I was a quarrelsome young man. At 19, I left Corinth for Rome to study rhetoric at one of her finest academies.
Does he know he's in
so
the
I could
underworld?
argue more forcefully. Back then, I used to enjoy verbally sparring with everyone I could, and I was good. One night, I found myself in a tavern in an argument with a drunken mercenary. It became heated. He drew a gladius, and I won the argument, but lost my life. I woke up on the banks of the Styx at a campfire opposite Karen. Of course, I tried to persuade her to let me return, but even with all my skill, I failed. I settled in, made friends, and learned what I could, quickly realizing our little community faced certain death under the Golden Rule. So I began looking for a place to hide underground. Fortunately, I found this place waiting for me. You see, I was not the first to take refuge here. I returned to my friends above, persuaded them to join me, and 12 of us descended for the last time to live out our days hidden from Hades' tyranny. They are one and the same. The Romans.
I mean, I knew that. I don't know why.
Long
but
before
I guess
that,
I was
my people
wondering
called
what he
him
might say.
Hades. My generation was wiped out, turned to gold many years ago. My friends and I were able to avoid the same fate by hiding down here. I think it's safest to assume that if I was to return, Hades would realize that his furies hadn't finished the job, and he'd send them after me again. I fear that if you were to utter my name in the city, even by mistake, that Hades would hear you and know I am still alive.
That's fair.
I'm afraid I am the only one left. There were 12 of us in the beginning, but one by one, my friends passed away. Some from malnutrition, others from madness and despair. It has been lonely. Before my unexpected visit from Kabash some weeks ago,
I was thinking
I'd
that
not
he was
seen another
Kabash,
person
just hiding. But
in many years.
how have you survived?
Living in darkness is not without its challenges. The first challenge is diet. Fortunately, I found that eating fresh fish provides most of the nutrients I need. And sometimes, when there are Greek people living up above, I surface at night and salvage the offerings they've left in the temple of Demeter. The greater challenge is the isolation. So I like to imagine arguments, where I argue both sides. But, like so many things in life, arguments are better with a partner.
Let's talk about something
As you
else.
wish. Did we not discuss it at length already? You seek the plaque bearing the Egyptian inscription.
That's the
It
one.
is a cursed object, and I would be happy to give it to you, if Kabash had not already
Dang
taken
it, Kabash. All right.
I will tell you, but you may find him hostile. To prepare for your encounter, there are certain things you must know. Very few know this, but before the Romans came to this city, it was once entirely
Do I have to
Greek.
fight Kabash,
The
break the golden
architecture,
rule, and
the
escape with the
temples,
plaque?
and the people. When the Romans came, in typical fashion, they claimed it as their own, built over everything that could be built over, and renamed the things that could not. Thus, the shrine of Persephone became the shrine of Proserpina. And when they found an obelisk bearing the name Hades, they tore it off and replaced it with Pluto instead. And the city's dwindling Greek residents, witnessing this compulsive Roman conquest, decided to preserve what they could of their heritage. They gathered their art and valuables, secreted them away through the Temple of Demeter, and hid them here, out of reach of the Romans. However, there was one thing that always seemed out of place to me, and it is the very thing you seek. An even older plaque, bearing an Egyptian inscription.
What did it
We
say?
had no idea until years later when the first of my friends began to die. As a result of their deaths, we began to dig catacombs branching off from this cavern to lay them to rest. We extended the tunnel so far that we accidentally discovered another, an even older tunnel, which somebody had gone to great lengths to keep hidden. Suddenly it made sense why there was an out-of-place Egyptian plaque among our people's possessions. You see, we proud Greeks had thought the Romans beasts for stealing and corrupting our heritage. But it turns out this game has been going on much longer than any of us imagined. I think it is best you head through the catacombs and follow Kabash's trail. There are certain things you must see for yourself. Take this key. You'll need it to open the gate.
All right.
I enjoyed our chat, but please, keep my presence here a secret, yes?
All right. Let's save.
You carry the gift of Prometheus in your hand. Remarkable.
Is there anything to read? Nope. Alright, we saved. That way, if Bosch kills us, we can reload and fight back. But I'm hoping we can talk to him first. Oh, wow. Alright. It'll take more than one hit. Watch out, skeletons. I got a mean kick. Oh. I only have 107 arrows. Oh, this is cool. Oh, dang it, your hands. Ah, yes. Eh. Egyptian board game. I hear you, but where are you? Oh, that was probably so you didn't have to fight. But whatever. I'm ready. Ready, Kabosh. Oh. Alright. Let's talk.
Stop! Do not come any closer. Who are you?
I'm Bachal.
I am Kabosh. And let me guess. Another Greek or Roman come to loot and plunder the resting place of my ancestors,
I'm just looking for the Egyptian plaque.
To what end?
I want it to return it to the obelisk.
That is welcome news. You really are not Greek or Roman, are you? I was planning to return it myself, but for now, I must remain. Here, take it and restore the honor of Osiris.
Ah. Neat. Thanks.
Now, as for the other plaque.
The fourth plaque?
Indeed, I have it right here. I stumbled across a collection of dusty curiosities while searching for a place to hide from the hungry children of Amit, and there it was. You may not. In fact, I am about to destroy it.
Why?
Because it speaks a treacherous, blasphemous lie.
How so?
I will tell you, but first, do you know what this place is?
The Duat?
Indeed, and I see you know our history. This is the Duat. See what has become of it. I have been down here for weeks, piecing together its story, and here is what I have learned. As Egypt declined and the Greeks had their turn to flourish, their souls came here in great numbers, but instead of adopting our ways, they copied and corrupted them. When they found the obelisk bearing the name Osiris, the true god of the underworld, they desecrated it, removing his name and replacing it with Hades. Even the ferryman of the dead, known to my people long before as Kerti, they renamed to Keron. As if that desecration was not enough, they built over this place, using it as the foundation for their own underworld, so that ours was forgotten. My only solace is that the Greeks then suffered the same fate when the Romans rose to power, renaming Hades to Pluto, and the cycle began anew.
So what is the
It is inscribed with a script I do not recognize, but it is ancient, almost as if it is older than the plaque bearing Osiris' name. But if that is so, it would imply the gods of Egypt are mere imitations too, copied and corrupted from an ancient people who prospered even before us, and that my people did to them what the Greeks and Romans did to us. But this, I cannot accept. I sense a deception. Perhaps it is the work of Set, the usurper, seeking to undermine Osiris once more.
Does pull some stuff, though. What does
you will never know. This work of sacrilege must be destroyed, thrown into the black abyss below in Osiris' name.
Please.
You are too late. It is done.
I wish you hadn't done that.
It could not have gone any other way. It was Osiris' will. Now, the thing of evil you sought is gone. Why are you still here?
What do you think is
I
down
do
there?
not know. What could possibly lie beneath the underworld? Perhaps it is infinite darkness. Perhaps it is the lair of Amit,
Getting
the
the
devourer of
other
souls.
plaque, the Roman plaque, is going to
All
be
I know
hilarious
is
because
it
that's going
would
to be
be
so much more
unwise
low-key
to
than this, I
venture
feel.
down there.
Perhaps.
Most unwise. Good. Be gone from this place. Wait. You are planning to go down there. I see it in your eyes.
Definitely.
You would plunge into the depths of the Duat with no way back up. Madness.
I'll find a way back up.
We shall see.
All right. Well, definitely need to save now. What's our inventory? Sorry. Greek plaque. Lord pendant. Sumerian plaque. Nergal. The fierce one. Oh, this is rad. So it's literally just a city that's built on top of a city, built on top of a city. What up, statues? I know you can see me. Don't worry. It was terrifying. Now I feel really bad. Sumerians defending themselves from something. Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm sure that's cricking up your neck. Alright. I see you pointing. I just like exploring. Reading mode. Stranger, heed the final words of Namkuzu. Bear witness to our aftermath and lament us. We did our best to live as the gods commanded. We planted and harvested together. We shared bread and beer. We accepted newcomers with open arms as a family. But with each newcomer, the bonds of our family strained, and soon we were strangers to each other. And when those bonds finally broken, my brothers and sisters planted only for themselves and ate and drank alone. It was there in the empty space between us that sin took root. Nurgle sentinels have awoken and clamor at our barricades. Learn from our Oh. I mean, I think that's fair. You can figure out what happened. Probably should have been more taken aback at that. I was just like, Dark Souls has made me just be more accepting of boulders running at you. You're just like, oh, it's happening. It's symbolism. I have to say that it's still running. Like, that's impressive.
When I told you that you would not find a way back up, that was not a prediction. That was a promise. You will die here.
There's no need for this to end in violence.
I disagree. I warned you against coming down here, against perpetuating this sacrilege, but you persisted. You have undermined and dishonored the true god of the underworld. How
Kabosh,
did you
come on,
think
man.
this would end, if not with bloodshed?
Just hear me out.
Very well, I will listen. But if I sense deception, or if you further insult my gods, I will carry out my threat. So tell me, why should I let you live after you salvaged this instrument of blasphemy?
There is no shame in building on the works of people who came before
That
you.
may be true of many things, but this is different. If our gods were copied and corrupted from an older civilization, does that not mean they are false? Does that not mean our prayers to our gods all fell on deaf ears because we were not even addressing them by their true names?
If gods exist, isn't it possible that they each have more than one true name?
Now that I think about it, my people would sometimes call Osiris the god of many names. Perhaps it is so. But the underworld of my people is so different to this one, and so unlike the way it was described by our priests. Many of my ancestors endured great hardship to live good lives so that we may descend to the Duat in death and be judged accordingly. We prepare to have our hearts weighed on Anubis' scales and to swear ourselves innocent of sin before the 42 assessors of Ma'at. And yet, I arrive here to find the Book of the Dead contained only a seed of truth. And now I ask myself, did our priests steal and embellish the stories of an older people and feed us lies all our lives simply to trick
Ooh, I don't
us
think he's
into
ready for the
obedience?
truth. Isn't being
I
a good
am
person.
not sure I follow. Speak plainly.
Even if your beliefs about the afterlife weren't quite accurate, isn't it important they motivated you to live good lives?
Perhaps there is some truth in that. What is your point?
Are you going to abandon a lifetime of good character, now that it matters most, just because you found out you were misled?
You are persuasive.
Come on,
Very
Kabosh.
well. I will let you live, and you may do what you will with that plaque. I will remain here for a while, and attempt to learn what I can about the foundations of my people's beliefs. Go.
There's a super evil dude up there, and we gotta, like, wreck him. That's the more important thing, Kabosh. Although Kabosh is a cool character, I'm not gonna lie. It's like, he's passionate. And he's willing to fight to the death in the Temple of Death to make that known. I should have told him to go say hi to the old man. Aha. So, we just need the Roman plaque. Not too bad for a Skyrim mod. This is an amazing game. Like, I keep bringing Outer Wilds to it, but I think this also should have won a BAFTA award.
You carried the gift of Prometheus in your hand.
Like, it's super good. Also, I'm kind of curious, like, did they just, was it still using, like, our real-world gods, or was it, like, modified to use, like, the Skyrim pantheon? I guess I can just look that up. But yeah, this is really good. This is incredibly good. What about the priestess? Is there a way to see what people's schedules are? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if the story was different originally. Like, I think it works either way. Like, if someone was just like, hey,
there
I
are
have
no
a
other
mod.
weapons in the city. We all went along with the magistrate's weapons ban, so it wouldn't be an issue.
That's why I've got to get in first before someone else beats me to it.
Ah, you again. No, I don't.
What do you
I mean, all these people just bumble along like nothing's wrong. Well, we're one bad decision away from being wiped out. Like the last lot of people who lived here. Seems like I'm the only one ready for what's coming. I don't know. Sentius. Fine. Can't talk. Families from some... Because we're all... Majesty. Fine. See you around. Ah, you again. See you around.
Okay. So that didn't work, but let's do one more loop. Because he did the favor to leave Virgil alone. So maybe that's his, maybe that was his one favor. And if we do it over again, then we can use the favor to be like, hey, I need you to unlock that door.
I'm not supposed to be in here. Demit, this is outrageous.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Salve, friend. Mind telling...
Need to take care of things.
Yulia? Oh no.
I need Fabio to enter.
Alright, let me see. What? I'll go.
Okay. And if that doesn't work, then there might be one more thing
You,
that I'm missing.
Tantalus, cannot catch the drops of...
Name's Rufius. What business? Willow Bar. Finally, some relief. It was... Oh, I mean, see... My...
The original mod was a Skyrim quest that made one guy pointing over 1,700 hours to develop. The mod was so popular he quit his day job to hire a team to make this game. That's awesome.
No idea what you're talking about. It's the rheumatism. I know, and I know. I'll leave him. I'm...
Okay. I might have modified things where that's not how it happens in the game. Octavia?
Salve, friend. I'm Octavia. Welcome to life under the golden rule.
I'm fine, thanks.
Ah, another... We've all been where you are. I used to lay away... I still don't...
I'm looking for a Roman plaque that's been removed.
Even if I had seen it, and I'm not saying I have. Even if I had seen it, and I'm not... What you're doing is disgusting.
So you're Christian.
Please keep that. There was a terrible fire in...
Your secret's...
Oh, thank you. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. Even if I had seen it. Ah, that's a shame. Another time then.
Did I miss a key somewhere? Oh, can I ask the other guard? There you go.
We're free. We're free.
Yeah, I feel I'm missing something because I'm definitely stuck right now.
Citizen. Ah, you again. So you're...
Salve.
Unless there's like a secret I can use to crack it open. Right. And Wishbone. Livia. So this was Livia's quarters. Quarters, quote unquote. Aha! Never mind. Got it. Pluto, father of riches. Carving. We got it. Alright. What does your quest tab say there? Oh, yeah, no, sorry. I'm just reading this now. So we are now good. Alright. Hades, Pluto, Nergal, Set, or Osiris.
How'd you do?
Of course, Galerius. That's your right.
Citizen.
Alright. Let's go. There's the Egyptian. There's the Sumerian. And the most recent one. Should I have my bow out? Are we about to throw hands? So you do have a preference. Oh, okay. So we have to say the right name for that era. Got it, got it, got it. All right, so this is the Egyptian name. Osiris. And then the Sumerian, god of the underworld. Then we throw hands. Oh, this is super modern. All right, we had Resident Evil now. Sci-fi. Oh, this is unexpected. There you go.
And here you are. Allow me to introduce myself. As you have already gathered, I've been known by many names.
Nergal to the Sumerians, Osiris to the Egyptians, Hades to the Greeks, and Pluto to the Romans. But the one constant through it all has been my title, God of the Underworld. And I've been watching you with curiosity, mortal, ever since your arrival. You're unlike the others, aren't you? And what is more, you carry a weapon that was never intended for mortals to wield, and you do it so brazenly. But there will be time for your reckoning later. First, as a reward for undoing the desecration of my obelisk, I will allow you to satisfy your curiosity. Ask what you will.
What is
My story is many thousands of years long. You will need to be more specific. What do you wish to know? It is a matter of perspective. God is a label I was given by you mortals, not one I gave myself. Your ancestors revered me because to them, my knowledge and technology made me incomprehensibly powerful, just as you might seem so to an insect. But despite all that, there are rules even I must obey.
Why do you
My kin and I all adopted this form long ago, so that we might better understand and communicate with
Oh,
your
so that's
kind.
not their
In time, we grew fond of the sensory delights.
chosen.
of
They
force,
chose it.
Desire, joy, ecstasy, even rage and sorrow, while an acquired taste can be addictive.
Yeah, I see your truth.
No. Long ago, I swore to Persephone that I would remain in this form for as long as we remained among your kind. I must honor that. This is my beloved. Like me, she has been known by many names. Ereshkigal to the Sumerians, Isis to the Egyptians, Persephone to the Greeks, and Proserpina to the Romans. Or perhaps you might know her as the goddess of springtime, the cycle of life and renewal. Your gaze lingers too long.
Is that on your right?
That is my servant. You would have met by the river, though she wears many faces and goes by many names.
Karen.
Kumutabal to the Sumerians, Kirti to the Egyptians, Charon to the Greeks, and Charon to the Romans. Her role is to ferry souls between the mortal world and this one, and to make their transition as seamless as possible. For that, she earned herself the infamous, if erroneous, moniker, the Ferryman. You will talk more later. For now, ask your questions.
Let's talk about something else.
As you wish.
What is this place?
It has come to be known simply as the Underworld, and it exists because of a wager I made long ago.
What's that?
That is a long story, one that began over 3,000 years ago and continues to this day. You see, long ago my kin and I set out from our home on Elysium to search for other forms of life among the stars. We discovered your planet and witnessed your kind evolving from primates into something lawless and barbaric. You all but destroyed yourselves, your 2 short lives being extinguished by violence and ignorance and disease. Yet Proserpina saw raw potential in you, and persuaded the rest of us it would be squandered without our intervention and stewardship. So we revealed ourselves to your people in a place called Sumer. We offered guidance in agriculture, toolcraft, and law, and you called us gods. For a time you flourished, but soon you were too many for us to oversee. And as you spread from that cradle of civilization, we saw something disturbing. We had sown the seeds of dependency and confusion, and soon you returned to your old ways of violence and ignorance, this time in our name. My kin had seen enough, and gave up on your kind, condemning you as barbaric and chaotic, scarcely more than animals. We began preparations to return to Elysium, our home world, a utopia unspoilt by conflict and unimaginable in its beauty. But my Proserpina could not bear to abandon your kind without guidance,
and knowing it would force the rest of us to leave her behind, she made an extraordinary sacrifice. She gave up her immortality to descend permanently to the ranks of humankind. And so she began her inescapable trajectory toward death. Horrified, I acted swiftly. I placed her in suspended animation in a deep frozen sleep to prevent age and sickness from claiming her. And then I pleaded with Proserpina's father, who the Romans called Jupiter, to bring her with us to Elysium. It was and is my hope that once there, we might one day learn to undo what she has done to herself. But he refused. I did everything I could to persuade him, but he would not relent. He would rigidly uphold his final pronouncement. Humans were unworthy of ascension to Elysium, and no exceptions would be made. But seeing that I was aggrieved, he proposed a wager, the terms of which were as follows. If even one human city could prove itself capable of living without sin for a single year, then Proserpina and all of humanity would be permitted to join us in Elysium. My part would be to remain behind.
Her godhood to attend this fighting game tournament. Man, she needs to be in the next Mortal Kombat.
Without interfering, and to sit in silent judgment. And so my reward has been to languish here, enduring a 3,000-year winter, waiting for the day your kind proves itself worthy of her faith in you, so that I might take her with me to Elysium and unthaw my goddess of springtime. And here I am, after all this time, still waiting. There were also gods who, like me, have been known by many names, but perhaps you knew them by their role
unexpected
names. Our leader, Jupiter, as well as Neptune, Saturn, Juno, Minerva, Mars, Venus, Apollo, Diana, Vulcan, Vesta, Ceres, and of course, my beloved Proserpina.
Who built the city?
As the first wave of your kind arrived from Sumer, I had them build a city in their own fashion, so that they might be comfortable and recreate their lives here. I had them build the entrance as a vertical shaft leading to baths, to cleanse them of the sins of their former lives, and to prevent escape. I watched wave after wave of Sumerians arrive, and as their civilization declined over the centuries, they were replaced by Egyptians. Of course, believing themselves to be the superior civilization, the Egyptians promptly built over what had been built before, and made all the same mistakes. After another 1,000 years, the Greeks began to arrive, and then the Romans, and they all did the same thing. They built upon the underworlds of their predecessors, renamed their gods, and ensured their foundations were forgotten.
How did you decide
To ensure the wager was fair, it was important that my subjects were chosen at random. To this end, I had my servant distribute 1,000 tokens fashioned from silver, a rare element at the time, across all of Sumer. Whoever died while in possession of one of them would be located by my servant and ferried to this place, with no memory of how they arrived. As the tokens were discovered, they were traded, smelted, and fashioned into trinkets, and eventually coins, spreading to Egypt like seeds on the wind. Later, when they spread to Greece, they would come to be known as Charon's obol, or as coins for the ferryman. Some placed coins in the mouths of their dead, hoping they would awaken here, though they had no way of knowing which coins were fashioned from the original tokens. In fact, almost all of the tokens are accounted for, only 2 remain. And so after this wave destroys itself, as it is destined to do, your kind will have squandered the last of its potential to ascend beyond
And then
this
what, you
rock,
stay here?
and Proserpina's along with it. It is a regrettable story. One of the first men who came to this place was a king of Sumer and a troublemaker. To be rid of him, I returned him to his people, on the condition that my servant erased his memories of this place. But the erasure did not take completely,
and he told stories of this place as if describing memories of a dream. His tales were committed to writing, which came to be known as the Epic of Gilgamesh, and his words were twisted and distorted over generations. Later, the Egyptians would adapt Sumer's stories of the underworld, making them wildly intricate and labyrinthine. Their Book of the Dead and Book of Gates bore less and less resemblance to this place in their priests' pursuit of profit. Then, when the Greeks began to arrive, they proved far more cunning, and in a series of incidents that will not be repeated, 5 of them escaped. A warrior named Heracles, 2 kings named Sisyphus and Theseus, a poet named Orpheus, and a Trojan named Aeneas. They each told embellished tales of this place, how to get here, and how to escape. And so from Sumer to Egypt, Greece to Rome, your kind has always told each other stories about this place, though each story contained only a seed of truth.
Let's talk about something else.
Of course. That is merely the name your people have given to it, but yes, it is my doing.
That's all I need.
That is a story dating back to the very first wave. After the Sumerians finished building their city, the self-declared
I realize this
rulers
is just
threw a
an
banquet to
exposition
celebrate.
dump, but there's like a
Now
lot
this
of
man
questions
was
I have.
unmarried, and many women were vying to become his wife, a prestigious position of power and influence in a new world. Of all the women, 2 were particularly ambitious. Both were beautiful, and both arrived at the banquet wearing eye-catching dresses and painted faces, their hair woven in elaborate fashion. The first woman, recognizing that she would require an advantage to win the ruler's affection, draped herself in jewelry, ornate necklaces, bracelets, and rings fashioned from gold. Seeing this ostentatious display, the second woman grew envious, for she had no such jewelry at her disposal. She prayed aloud to any gods that would listen to cover her in gold, and when her prayer went unanswered, she took matters into her own hands. While the others indulged at the banquet, the second woman summoned the first for a discussion in a quiet place. She checked that nobody was watching, and pushed her rival from the top of the ziggurat, where she broke her neck on the rocks below. But I was watching, and I decided to answer her prayer. I took the golden bow left behind by Diana, and I shot that woman in the heart, covering her from head to toe in a layer of molten gold. And I left her to stand there, that she might serve as a grim reminder of what befalls those who sin in my domain. But that was not enough, for the entire city was tainted by her sin, and the wager could no longer be won. So I had no choice but to wipe the slate clean. I gilded them all, to make way for a new wave, and began the wager again. And to this day, each of them, and all who came after, line the halls of this city, inanimate but conscious, suspended in time with only their sight and hearing preserved, so they may bear witness to and lament the folly of your kind for eternity, as silent golden sentinels. When my kin departed, they left behind many relics which I inherited. A consolation prize of sorts. The golden bow originally belonged to one of my kin, who the Romans called Diana. As my collection of golden statues grew, I chose the most ferocious among them, and equipped them each with a duplicate of her bow, and tasked them with hunting down the Forsaken at my behest. They became known simply as Furies. I give your kind a second chance at life, as well as ample warning about my law. And when you disobey, and you always disobey, you force my hand, bringing terrible suffering upon yourselves. And so you ask if I am the one destroying your lives. And I say, no, you destroy yourselves. I am merely the means by which you do it.
What do you consider?
I've always considered that the cornerstone of morality is the ability to determine right from wrong on one's own. No attempt to lay out rules like your Code of Hammurabi or your 12 Tables of the Roman Republic can ever cover all possible scenarios. This should come as no surprise to you, since the core principle has been expressed in many forms by many of your civilizations. The Egyptians made a rudimentary attempt with do to the doer to make him do. The Greeks refined it with avoid doing what you would blame others for doing. The Roman Stoics added, treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you. Even the so-called cultists hiding among you often say, do unto
Does he
others
not
as you
know
would
I'm a
have them
time
do
traveler?
unto you.
He just
It is the
assumes I'm
simplest
in
of
the current time,
concepts,
so the
and
two
each one of
points
you is
are
born with the faculties
supposed
required to apply it to any situation.
have been completely gone during
Yet
the
none of the peoples who expressed this rule were able to uphold it. Curious, is it not?
It doesn't seem like you've been upholding it.
Enough. You clearly know nothing.
Just saying.
I'm able to commune with all of the statues in the city.
Ah.
Their ears are my ears,
That explains
and their
this.
eyes are my eyes. If she was still conscious, I suppose she could, but she's not. Why do you ask?
No reason.
Then what an odd question.
I've seen
Do you
some
plan to
terrible
speak in
things.
sweeping generalizations, or are you going to give me an example? You speak of the moneylender. How is that inconsistent with the rule?
He would want to be trapped in a third here later.
And he would never have signed a contract pledging his labor for 30 years. All he did was enforce the terms of a contract signed voluntarily by others. Ignoring your irritating sense of moral superiority, this is interesting. I'm curious, how do people escape poverty where you're from?
Cost me to take a loan, buy a house, pay for it.
I see. And how long might it take such a person to repay their debt?
Listen, God of the Underworld.
I fail to see how your system of loans is significantly different to a debt bondsman signing over his labor for 30 years.
Fair enough.
Now tell me, what other sins do you believe I have overlooked?
He's getting me on a technicality. Experiments in
The
gold statue.
midwife and the palace, yes. How is that inconsistent with the rule? The rule is do unto others, meaning other people. Those statues are something else now. Bloodless shadows, mere
he's
shapes
just
of their
about
former selves.
technicality.
They are forsaken. What happens to them is no concern.
He isn't watching the rest of the world. Just that's true. That seems like an extremely literal interpretation.
Applying this rule always requires us to interpret the meaning of the words. The literal interpretation helps to minimize the ambiguities of your primitive language.
If our language is full of ambiguity, doesn't it make the rule inherently subjective and unreliable?
Supposing you're right, then my law has been broken, and I should turn you all to gold immediately. Is that what you want?
I am right, and you know it.
Then your desire to be right outweighs your desire to survive. You will make a fine statue.
Enough time.
Do you really think you could wound me, a god, with that primitive weapon? Pathetic.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Oh. Gotta go, gotta go. MLG. Uh-oh, loading. Can I save here? Don't want to go through the chat again. Technically strikes again and again and again. I've noticed. Okay. Super Looper. Loop through 10 times. There we go. Let's see. Let's overwrite that because we made it through. I might need to ask the philosopher for help here.
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are and why you look like you've just taken on a gladiator and lost?
Yeah.
Oh, sounds... Yulia? Oh no. Alright, I can do that. Poor Virgil. Poor Rufius too, I guess. Alright, got it. Alright, let me see. Stop Fabia going in, but send the new arrival to the empty shrine. Understood. What? Are you... I'll go, but once I'm done...
You got it. Alright, philosopher. We need to figure out what we can do here.
The 49 melodies fetch again.
Alright, philosopher. There's aliens. They, They did some things. This entire city's a test. What do you think we should do?
I know, and I'll take care of him. Just go and hide. But not in the empty shrine.
Wait, how did you know I was headed in there?
Not the end game I was expecting, but that's how you know it's good. Alright, philosopher. Man, this is a lot deeper. Okay. This door's open now, right? Oh wait, it's not the catacombs, so we're good.
Ah, a visitor. Welcome, welcome. May I ask your name?
We've had this conversation before. You're going to explain the extortion of power required. The exertion of power required to create utopia will always result in tyranny.
I was indeed. But we've never met before, have we? I'm sure I would have remembered. Blessed Lissa, am I losing my memory?
I'm caught in a time.
That's a relief. For a moment, I thought it was I who was touched by madness.
How would you persuade the god of the underworld to abolish the golden rule?
I assume you're asking me this as some kind of amusing hypothetical?
No, I met him, but he wasn't able to persuade him. I'm going to try again.
Extraordinary. Then let me see if I can help you. I suppose first I'd want to gather information. I'd want to know about his reasons for imposing the Golden Rule and what he considers a sin. If I could expose some internal inconsistency in his reasoning, some degree of hypocrisy, I might be able to compel him to change his position. But as a philosopher, the saddest truth I ever learned is that all but the most enlightened opponents are more easily swayed by appeals to emotion than by reason. So the easiest path would be to find his emotional susceptibility and exploit it. If he was vain, I might try to flatter him. If he was merciful, I would try to evoke pity. As a last resort, I might figure out what he fears losing above all else, and, if I could, threaten to take it away. Though, of course, that could easily go awry.
Take away it is.
Now, go quickly while my words are still fresh in your memory.
On a time loop, on an alien spaceship, to fight a super powerful being, to rescue an ancient city that's a test bed for a wager. Oh, the assassin. Cool. Just got back just in time. Oh, okay. Thankfully the plex are not set by the same kind of like rules.
And here you are. Allow me to introduce myself. No girl, but the one, and what that there will be first.
Or should I just... We're starting it.
I would recognize that anywhere. And yet my beloved still wears hers. What is this? How did you come by it?
I took it from her after I killed her in another timeline.
You vile, despicable creature. Why would you do such a thing? And worse still, boast about it.
You know what? We're gonna have to do the Captain America line. I could do this all day. And the Golden Rule, or I will.
You have put me in an impossible position. If I refuse, you will murder her. And yet, if I agree, I will lose my wager and return to Elysium, humiliated and alone.
Well,
I do not see that I have a choice in this. Your treachery and savagery have opened my eyes like nothing I have witnessed in 3,000 years. And now you have shown me your species' true colors. And I see that Persephone was a fool to have ever believed in you at all. This has gone on too long. It's time for me to let go of this form of her.
Intimidate the creature.
Of all of you. But know this. If I abandon the wager and leave for Elysium, neither she nor your kind may ever ascend.
Very well. I will have Charon make arrangements to ferry the others.
Is this not the
But as
best
for
ending?
you,
Is there one more
be
ending we
aware
should
you
do
will
for
be
this stream
separated
before
from
we
the
call
rest.
it?
Enough, foul creature. This is not something I've decided. You see, once this exodus begins, the events that brought you to this moment will never have taken place, and you will have created a paradox. What will become of you is difficult to predict, but that is the risk you have taken by interfering in the natural flow of time. Now, are you ready? You had best pray our paths never cross again, mortal.
Because if there is a better way to do that, then we'll go with that.
Oh. Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fright. Thought I was in here alone. I'm Al.
You specifically are so wicked. A god couldn't imagine your sound.
Well, here I am. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
The best ending. Everyone Free is definitely a good ending. I'm Bachal.
Oh, did that lady in the forest send you in here after me? I guess I lost track of time, learning about the history of this place, and it is extraordinary. I'm fairly certain you and I are the first people to set foot in this city for about 2,000 years. Fortunately for us, the last person in here was a Roman man named Galerius, who inscribed an account into a tablet. Apparently, there was a community of 20-something people trapped in here, and living in fear of a curse they called the Golden Rule. They believed that if even one person sinned, an unknown god would cast them all into gold, like the 1,000 people who'd lived here before them. Then, one day, just as Galerius had finished praying for a good harvest at the shrine of Proserpina, an oracle appeared and told him how to solve the ills of the city, like saving the life of a dying woman, foiling an assassination attempt, and so on. Meanwhile, the oracle walked up to the temple of the mysterious god, this one right here, and demanded an audience, and the doors just opened up to him. Nobody knows what went on in there, but Galerius wrote the oracle must have been more persuasive than Odysseus, because the next thing he knew, the ground shook and the voice of that god rang out over the city. The many have suffered long enough. Unfortunately, Galerius' account just sort of stops after that, leaving a lot of questions unanswered. What became of him and the other people who lived here? What happened to all the golden statues? And did this mysterious oracle single-handedly undo the curse that had terrorized people for hundreds of years?
These Romans.
I don't know, it reads like an earnest account to me. Anyway, I think I found a way out through the aqueduct that brought water into the city. Follow me.
If I'm reading this right, you're on the best ending? Alright, cool. Return to the room. Alright. Then we ended on a good note. And we sassy pantsed our way to victory.
I'm gonna pause here for a moment and make sure nobody else has ever lured into this temple. But you go on ahead, and I'll be there soon.
What's up, Chiron?
You're back! But you're alone. Does that mean you didn't find Al?
I found him.
What a relief. Thank you so much. I was beginning to think you'd both become trapped in there. Why don't you tell me what you discovered while we wait?
I discovered you're not who you say you were. I remember meeting you 2,000 years ago.
Ah, I see. I thought you might.
Alright.
Well, now you know. I suppose you have questions.
Who are you?
You can just call me Charon, if you like.
Okay, I mean,
I'm sorry I was not completely honest with you when we first met. I do not enjoy deceiving people. Believe me, I do not. But I have learned, from 5,000 years of experience, that most people find comfort in familiarity, in gradual change, and coming to see the truth in their own time. That you died, of course. You were dead when I brought you here. My role, as the servant of the god of the underworld, has always been to assist the chosen to cross the threshold from the land of the
Wait a
living
minute.
to the
So we
land
created
of
the
the dead.
paradox, right? But
You can just call me Charon, if you like. I do not... That you... My...
how did I do?
Most so... Ask yourself honestly. As you wish. You were murdered. You were exploring an old tomb when you discovered a cache of forgotten relics, including 2 silver coins of ancient origin. Unfortunately, as you emerged into daylight, you were set upon by 2 thieves. A nearby hiker saw the scuffle break out and leapt to your aid, trying to help you recover your bounty. You both fought bravely, but your assailants were armed, and you were not. There was nothing you or your ally could have done. He died instantly at the scene, and you followed a few hours later. That man's name was Al Worth.
Oh,
You
Al
were
was-
each in possession
Al's
of a
my buddy.
sacred coin, called Charon's opal by some. And so it was my duty to bring you here.
Pluto said the coins Al and I were the last in existence. What does that mean for you?
It means I am now bereft of purpose. There is nobody else to ferry here. Nobody to keep you company. After 5,000 years, the underworld has finally run its course. I see no point in keeping you here. But I have to ask one thing. That you keep this to yourself.
Look! Here comes Al now. Al! It's so good to see you. You were gone so long I thought I'd never see you again.
Kinda lost track of time in there. You wouldn't believe what we found. The ruins of a long-forgotten city. And there was a tablet describing an oracle who confronted a god and undid an ancient curse.
Man, they
Sounds like quite a
ton of
story.
lines for this.
And I look forward to hearing all about it. But you two look exhausted. Why don't you hop in my boat and rest while I ferry you back to civilization?
Sounds good to me.
And you? Are you ready to go home?
Alright, Chiron. Ferry us home. Saved everybody. 1 year later. Oh, we're getting New Game Plus ending. It's not a very big exhibit, but
Hey, you made it. It's great to see you again. I read your book, and what the critics said about it. I guess they weren't ready for your theories about the underworld. Anyway, after everything you've been through, I thought you might appreciate some good news.
I guess
so
I shouldn't
after we
have
got
read the
back to
book
the
in
real
third
world,
person.
I started doing some research into the people mentioned in Galerius's tablet, and I found something strange. I'm sorry I've been so cryptic. I've been dying to tell you. I just really wanted you to see this for yourself. Why don't you head on down there? I'll catch up with you at the other end.
The script has like 80,000 words. Okay, I believe it. There's so much dialogue in this game.
Oh, hello.
It's
There he is.
What the?
You're finally here. Remember me?
Galerius,
It's
what are
a
you doing
crazy
here?
story. After you disappeared, Charon appeared and told us she was returning us to the world. Even gave us some coins to help us start our lives over. Only, for some reason, she returned us to your world instead of ours.
That's why it is. so
Anyway,
abruptly.
I know we only ever had that one conversation, and I wasn't even sure if you'd remember me, but I wanted to say thanks.
That's cool.
For freeing us from the underworld and giving us a second chance at life. Oh, I used Charon's gift to buy a farm in Umbria. Got a villa on it too, with enough room for Dooley, of course. It's hard work, but I sleep soundly every night. I'm finally my own man, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I know! I can't believe my luck either. But we're engaged and living together.
Congrats.
We're planning to get married next spring. If you're going to be around, we'd love to see you there.
Love that. Count me in.
Of course. There's a whole museum full of people waiting for a chance to thank you. So you better keep moving. We'll speak again soon, my friend.
The Oracle. Assemble as many people as possible in the meeting.
You're here. It's lovely to finally meet you. Galerius told me all about you.
Good to see you
So,
too.
you're the hero who somehow vanquished the last of the Roman gods. As I'm a priestess, you realize you've put me out of work. I'm just teasing. Actually, and it still feels a little sacrilegious to say this, I'm finding life after religion quite enjoyable.
What are you doing?
Galerius and I are engaged.
I don't understand how this was a mod.
We've just
I
bought a
don't
lovely
understand how
villa in
someone
the
was just like,
countryside, with room for a large family, and Dooley too, of course. It feels like the world has just opened up for us. There's so much to learn,
1 second.
and so many more possibilities for our children than we ever imagined. We're just so thankful for what you did for us, for all of us. Oh, it's sweet of you to ask. She recovered nicely. In fact, she's here somewhere, if you'd like to ask her yourself.
I'll do that.
See you at the wedding, I hope.
Because, like, CS, like, Counter-Strike was a mod. Dota was a mod. Like, League was derived from Dota. There's all these instances where mods, like, ended up doing, like, really big things. But, like, this is just so hyper-focused.
I'm Dooley.
Like, I am amazed that he just took this and decided to run a game with it. I remember who you are.
Galerius said you're very nice and a big helper. Thank you for getting us out of the bad place. I didn't like it.
What are you doing with
I
yourself?
live at Galerius and Equitia's house. They look after me now and help me remember when I forget things, like brushing my teeth.
That's great to hear. I'm sorry you never
Treasure.
find your treasure.
Oh, I forgot about that. I like my box now. Galerius got me a box that tells stories. It's my favourite thing.
I'm glad you're happy. And I want to recommend...
Bye-bye.
I want to recommend Let's Game It Out, Dooley. You're going to love him. Just the most buck wild of videos.
You're the Oracle, right? Oh, of course,
Charles, fine.
sorry. And I never got
Hi
a
there.
chance to thank you for telling Galerius how to save my life. And of course, getting me and all of us out of a terrible situation.
What are you doing with
I
yourself
barely
these days?
recognize myself. I'm living in a house share in London with my wonderful girlfriend. And I'm studying English at university. Eventually, I want to travel the world and write about it. Turns out, it's about 30 times bigger than the Roman
don't
Empire ever was. Did you know there are entire continents Rome never knew existed? And you can travel almost anywhere in an aircraft, which is rather like flying on a Pegasus, but much more comfortable. Oh, sorry, you already know all that, of course. I'm just so excited. There's so much to see and learn and write about.
Seeing the world through fresh eyes sounds wonderful.
I have noticed people from your time have no idea how fortunate they are. I hope to change that. One day.
What happened to Malolius and Claudia?
Last I heard, Malleolus kept insisting he was the last rightful ruler of the Roman Empire, and wound up being committed to a psychiatric hospital. As for Claudia, she was always so viciously unhappy. Someone said she'd blown all her money on wine, trying to drink herself back to the underworld. After the horrific way they treated Ulpius and me, I can't help feeling a sense of... what's that German word? Schadenfreude?
I think you're allowed to feel
Thank
that
you.
way.
You're very kind.
What happened to
Ugh,
Aurelia?
someone told me she was boasting about getting her claws into some rich prince, and how she was going to be living the high life from now on. Even in your time, life still isn't fair. Apparently, he'd proposed before they'd even met. And last I heard, she'd bought herself a first-class one-way ticket to join him in some exotic place called... what was it? Nigeria? Some people have all the luck.
Amazing. Don't worry. Something tells me she's gonna get what she deserves. Oh.
Really? I feel better already. Thank you. You too. If you're ever in London, let me know. We can go to bars and drink wine and listen to the stories of the 9 million people who live there.
I'll take you.
I hope so.
We'll continue here. Krisha.
You are here.
This
It's
is
nice
very
to
cool.
finally meet
This
you.
is very cool to have like hey,
Lucy
Lucretia.
is fine. I'm making an effort to blend in, as you can see. We are all trying to keep a low profile. If the world knew we died 2,000 years ago and were suddenly brought back to life 12 months ago, they'd never leave us alone. Speaking of which, I wanted to say thank you in person. I'd say the gods smile on you, but I hear you drove the last of them off. So...
Can't stop the Jade Falcons. What are you doing with
I'm
yourself
studying
these
to
days?
get into medical school. As much as I resented the responsibility of keeping everyone in the city alive, when it ended, I realized I missed it. So I guess I'll just keep saving the world, if begrudgingly, one patient at a time.
That's awesome. Good to see
You too. Don't be a stranger.
Hey.
Hi there, I'm Horatius.
Hi,
I
Horatius.
understand we have you to thank for giving us a second chance at life, and reuniting Scintilla with us as well. So, thank you.
What are you doing
I'm
with
living up
yourself
north
these days?
and
Such a
studying
great
in
way
the
to wrap
military
up all these
academy in
characters
Modena.
in the stories.
I'm going to
Absolutely.
be an officer one day. The world's changed a lot, but some things stay the same. Would you believe we're still studying military tactics from my time? Alexander the Great, Caesar, Hannibal Barca. Still, I have to keep challenging myself to let go of old ways of thinking and embrace the new. As Seneca wrote, the ones who pioneered our paths aren't our masters, but our guides.
Whatever happened to your buddy, Dominus?
He's not my... Oh, I see what you did there. Good one. He had more trouble adapting than most. He got himself disqualified from the UFC. So he started some kind of underground blood sport tournament, like we had in Rome. Suppose it appealed to people's baser instincts.
You know what?
And they say he
It
made
would
some good
sound
coin,
like he would try to
killing a bunch of
become an
men like
MMA
that.
fighter.
But his luck finally ran out, and his life along with it. You know what they say. Live by the sword, die by the sword.
That's a shame.
Perhaps.
Good to see you.
And you. Farewell.
I take it you're the Oracle. Thanks for coming.
Good to see you.
Actually, I changed my name to Cynthia. I didn't want to be associated with Sentius after what happened. I'm not sure if you heard, but after you drove Pluto off, Proserpina emerged from the Great Temple. She knew right away what none of us had figured out about that psychopath. He'd been keeping my little sister locked up in the upper cistern all that time. But he's been dealt with. You know what? The important thing is, we'll never see him again.
What are you
Anything
doing
I
with
want.
yourselves today?
I'm a woman of means in a vast new world. I can go wherever and do whatever I please. Of course, I mostly just stay in my villa and have my servant Alexa summon things for me, because it's just awful out there. Barbarians everywhere.
More things change, more they stay the same.
He's still there, all alone. The last golden statue in the underworld. Trapped in a metal shell, slowly losing his mind until the end of time. Eternal torment. Just what he deserves, if you ask me.
Nice.
Then I suppose he got his wish. You too. See you around.
Yeah, so I mean, like, everyone kind of got what they wanted. My friend.
Greetings.
Hello.
You must be the legendary oracle. It is a sincere privilege to finally make your acquaintance. I am Georgius.
Good to see
I
you
am
too,
told
Georgius.
we have you to thank for freeing us from Hades, and for that I am most grateful.
What are you doing with
I am
yourselves?
reacquainting myself with Greece. It has changed so much over the last 2,000 years, I barely recognize it. This is at once heartbreaking and
It
thrilling.
did change a lot.
Perhaps one day, once I have seen all of this new Greece and sampled her delights, I will settle down in Santorini in a villa overlooking the Azure Aegean Sea. I hope you will join me there and regale me with the story of how you faced off against the fearsome god of the underworld and won.
Consider me there.
You too, my friend.
You're the one we've been waiting for. I'm Fabia.
Hi,
I
Fabia.
wanted to say thanks for sending Galerius to save my life. I don't know how you knew, but I would have been crushed by that shrine for sure.
You're welcome.
I'm just so happy to be here with you and everyone together again, even if it's just for one more night.
What are you doing with
Well,
yourselves these
not
days?
like I have to work with all the silver Charon gave me, so I just do what makes me happy. Mostly that means baking for my friends and looking at memes while binging TV shows in yoga pants. What a time to be
Fabia
alive.
sounds like she adopted the best. Sounds like a life well spent.
Oh, it really is.
Good to see you.
You too.
Oh, the philosopher.
And here you are. It's wonderful to see you again.
Good to see you
Oh,
too.
and by the way, I go by Philip now. A fine Greek name. I never thought I'd leave that cave, let alone the city. And now I'm living in the 21st century. What a time to be alive. And it seems I have your catabasis to thank for it.
Fabia came out of the clear. Absolutely. What are you
I'm
doing with
working as
yourself
a
today?
consultant to the Faculty of Classics at Cambridge University, helping fill the odd gap in their knowledge. Not that I need the money, but I do love being around enlightened minds again. Aha! You remember
Do
that?
you still think that you
I
took
have
better
to
reach?
admit, I've been profoundly impressed by the advances humans have made these past 2 millennia. The sum total of human knowledge available at our fingertips, miraculous modern medicines, and a series of prosperous democracies. Your contemporaries have come further toward utopia than I ever thought possible, though there's still a way to go.
Definitely a way to go. Agreed. Listen, Philip, I only have to say one thing. It's like I know you love debating. It's just kind of like go to Reddit for the memes. Don't engage in conversation. That's all I'm saying. But it was good to see you.
My sincere thanks once again.
Some soiree, innit? Ah, hello at last. You must be the oracle I've heard so much about. I'm Dacius.
Hi, Dacius.
Listen, I wanted to express my sincere appreciation for what you did. If it wasn't for you, I'd never been able to sell all those useless old relics I accumulated. Whatever you did in that temple made me a very wealthy man. Thank you.
Ooh. No, we're not gonna. We're gonna be nice. You're
Most
welcome.
gracious of you.
What are you doing?
I took
with
the money I
yourself
made
these
from
days?
selling my trinkets and started investing in the stock market. That's where the real money is now. In fact, I was hoping to ask your advice, you being the oracle and future seer and all that, on which stocks I should invest in next. I can't decide between fossil fuels, tobacco, gambling and arms. What would you recommend?
I can't really see the future.
Don't be like that. You can tell your old pal Dacius. I won't take no for an answer.
I love all of these. Start a scumbag, finish the scumbag. You know what? It's print media.
Oh,
It's
of
gonna make a
course, yeah. I
huge
was just thinking the same thing. I'll go home and buy up as much stock as I can tonight. I'm going to make a bloody fortune.
Of
course, don't let me keep you. Thanks again for the tips, my friend.
Love it.
Good evening.
You know what?
Greetings.
Good to see you're looking well, Olivia.
Thank you for your kind words and for liberating us all. In all the time I was in the underworld, I never once imagined that I might end up in a place so much like Elysium.
What are you doing
I'm
with yourselves?
recovering. Octavia was kind enough to let me stay with her for a while, at least until I'm well enough to be independent again.
Are we getting good poems lately?
You remember that. I'm a little tired of Ovid, but that's all right. I have 2,000 years worth of
There's a
poetry to
lot of
catch up
poetry.
on
A lot
now.
of good poetry to
I'm
catch up.
already up to the 19th century, and am quite enjoying the work of a fellow named Poe. I think I may have found a kindred spirit. Men have called me mad, but the question is not yet settled whether madness
Olivia
is or
is
is
caught up
not the
in a
loftiest
year.
intelligence.
A ton of reading. Well said. Good
And
seeing
you. Farewell, friend.
Oh, hello. It's lovely to meet you. I've heard so much about you.
Nice to see you
I'm
on TV.
thankful that you're here. I was sure the person who drove off the last pagan god would have more important things to do than visit the likes of us. But thank you for coming and for saving our lives. What you did was extraordinary, and I'll never forget it.
What are you doing?
I'm
with
living in
yourselves?
Rome again, in a charming little flat by the Tiber. Not far from my old place. Oh, and I'm training to be a crisis counselor.
Nice.
After you sent Galerius to persuade Ulpius not to take his own life, I was inspired. I just want to spend the rest of my life helping people, like you helped him.
Sounds like a noble cause. Good on you.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Good to see you.
And you. Oh, and I hope this isn't too forward, but some of us are going out for a drink after this, if you'd like to join us.
You heard about my book sales. I need it. Sounds
Wonderful.
good. I'm in.
I'll see you soon.
Kabosh.
It
is
is
so
an
cool.
honor
Look at that
to
jacket.
finally meet you, Oracle.
Thanks, Kabosh.
You know my name? Oh, of course. You are an Oracle. You know many things. I too would like to offer my thanks for releasing us from that place and for your role in bringing us here. This world is truly wondrous.
What are you doing?
For
with
a
yourself
time,
today?
I returned to Alexandria, but they have no need of another fisherman, and I came to see there is nothing for me there. Instead, I have decided to follow the custom of your youths and backpack the world. It is a great adventure, and I have met many people from many cultures. I spent the first 25 years of my life avoiding the 42 sins that would deny me access to the afterlife. Now, I think it is time I had some fun.
Nice.
Indeed.
Good to see you.
Thank you, Oracle.
All right.
Hello there.
Wow, you didn't even press anything. Hi, Satilla.
I go by Gabriella now. I didn't want to be reminded of that monster every time I heard my own name. After you drove Pluto off, Proserpina came and released me, and that monster got what was coming to him.
I'm sorry.
Don't
I had
worry.
no idea.
Nobody did.
I mean, I did, but time loop. It's fine. Whatever. What are you doing?
I'm
with
living with
yourselves?
Ulpius on a little
Hi.
vineyard in Umbria. It's even more wonderful than I dreamed it would be.
Kabosh
I'm
is
so
like, sure, we
grateful
can
to you
adventure
for
one now.
making sure he's still with us. If you're ever passing through the region, I hope you'll come and visit us. You can try some of our very own wine.
You know what? We were just talking about my book sales. I'm
Thanks.
there.
You too.
It's nice to finally put a face to the name. I'm Ulpius.
Good to see
I
you.
understand I have you to thank for sending Galerius to save my life. The way you just showed up out of the blue, and stopped me from making a terrible mistake. I'll be forever in your debt. I'm living with Gabriella in Umbria.
And also no debt.
We finally bought the little vineyard we always dreamed of. It'll be a little while before we know what we're doing, but every day I look at her and this extraordinary new world with all its beauty, and I think, what if I'd given up hope and missed out on all of this? So we're living each day to the fullest. And we end them all the same way, sitting together on our terrace with a glass of our wine, which the locals say is almost drinkable now.
Good.
And watching
good to
the
know.
sunset over the rolling hillside. And I couldn't be happier.
Glad you're
Thank you. I wouldn't be here without you. You too.
Nice to meet you.
Good to see you
I
too.
go by Rufus now. New start, new name. Oh, and thanks, by the way, for what you did. Sorry, I'm no good with the mushy stuff.
Don't even sweat it.
I live with Virgil in Rotterdam, not far from where he grew up. It's very modern. Destroyed in the war, and it rebuilt itself. Good place for a fresh start. Haven't decided what I'm going to do with my life yet. One adjustment at a time.
You got forwarded 2,000 years. I think that's more than earned.
Good to know. Anyway, it was good practice for the new world. Security cameras and smartphones everywhere. Got to stay vigilant.
That's unfortunate.
You too. Look us up next time you're in the Netherlands. We're grateful.
It's so nice to finally meet you. I've heard so much about you. I wanted to thank you personally for getting us out of there. And for helping Rufus come to terms with himself. He may come off a little gruff, but once you get past that, he's a lovely fellow.
I believe it. What are you doing?
I'm studying to be an architect again, and living with Rufus in a beautiful flat in Rotterdam. Just down the river from Nijmegen, where I grew up. Of course, it's improved immensely since I was there last. Gleaming futuristic buildings and clean streets full of educated, accepting people. You natives of the 21st century have no idea how fortunate you are.
Dude, I had to pick up sponge sticks. I am very aware of how fortunate I am. But it was good to see you.
You too. As Rufus said in his own laconic way, if you're ever in the Netherlands, we'd love to show you around. It's the least we could do.
Might just take you up on that. Oh, this is cool. Oh, there's the plaque. There's the Egyptian plaque. Don't cue the anything. Greek plaque. Sumerian plaque. Wait, this is the Sumerian plaque. Which one is this? Oh, this is just a plaque. Oh.
There you are.
Dang it.
I hope you enjoyed that. Now, there's one more person I wanted to introduce you to. I think you know her.
sorry if I frightened you. Just a little joke I've been saving for a long, long time. Allow me to introduce myself properly. I am Proserpina, former goddess of the cycle of life and renewal, and now a regular mortal. I wanted to meet you in person, and thank you for freeing all these people, and me. I hate to think what would have happened to us without your intervention. Indeed. Suffice it to say that while Pluto was controlling the eyes and ears of each golden statue, I was able to control their tongues and whisper to you when he was distracted. I am sorry my messages were so cryptic. There were only ever brief windows in which I could speak to you without being detected.
You did what you could. You agreed.
I did. I may have given up my immortality, but I still retain my gifts as the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. After witnessing Pluto punish countless poor souls over thousands of years, I knew this generation, the final wave, would not survive. So I tried to give them a way to buy more time. A second chance. Rather, as many second chances as they needed to avoid his wrath. So I whispered to Sentius in secret, telling him the prayer required to create a portal in my shrine. I knew the danger of humans being corrupted by godly power, and so I put a safeguard in place. I required the creator of the portal to sacrifice their own life, so that it could only be used selflessly to help others. What I did not anticipate is that Sentius would retain his accumulated memories from each previous day, and as a veteran soldier, he had long since shed his fear of death. He quickly discovered that he could, in effect, prolong his own life indefinitely by exploiting the cycle. Of course, once I had taught him the prayer, I could not unteach him, and there was little I could do but wait for someone like you to come along and see him for what he was. We were all fortunate you came along when you did. I don't know what happened to him. I haven't heard from him, and I rather hope it stays that way.
What became?
Oh, she inherited dominion over the underworld. Last time we spoke, she was working on a new world of some kind. She wouldn't say what it was, but I'd be surprised if you don't run into her again.
Sequel potential?
I imagine we all will, one day.
It was nice.
And you, although it feels like I've known you forever. Oh, and one last thing. Do you remember all those golden statues scattered throughout the city? Good, yes. Because they remember you. Well done, my friend. Of all the heroes who ever journeyed to the underworld and returned, none came close to achieving what you did. Hercules, Orpheus, Theseus, and Aeneas would be proud.
I mean, that's awesome, but I'm kind of like, what about the people? The canon ending, reaching ending 4 of 4. All right. So that was Forgotten Cities, a little over 3 hours stream, but we got the not so good ending, and it's super dark. I'm sorry. Like, the sun has been setting, but that's okay. Let's say Nick Pierce, Alexander Goss, John Irie. Super good work. That was awesome. Like, the music, all the voice actors. Oh, there's historical consultants too. Yeah, like, everyone's work on this was fantastic. GG. I don't remember what I was planning next to stream, but I have a couple of days to figure it out. So just a heads up to everybody, I'm rendering out like the old there's an old video that I want to re-upload just because I have like a 4K version of it now, and unfortunately it just takes me forever to get large video files up on YouTube because it's 4K. It's a lot of gigabytes in size, and because of that, I don't think I will be streaming tomorrow. Hopefully I'll come back to stream on Tuesday. If not, we'll play it by ear. Maybe do like a short stream Wednesday if Tuesday doesn't happen. So, we'll go from there. And, yeah. Shoot. You know what? It's not a super long list. It was a small team, so let's give the credit scroll a full view. I love that they actually have the pictures of the voice talent as well as like the creators. I kind of actually wish that you would do that for like everyone on the team rather than just like a list of names. Like just have it on the side, maybe like alternate like the side of the image, that way you know, you can still have it move at like a good pace. But I think it's cool to see like names to faces. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not familiar with like Dear Villagers at all. Have they published other games? Because if this is the quality, actually no, not even, if stuff that they publish is half as good, I think it's still worth checking out. And the QA testers, like that's gotta be an absolute like nightmare, because if you're building it off of something that's supposed to mimic Skyrim, and we all know how buggy Skyrim could be, that's a lot of work. This was their first game. They worked on it since 2016 to avoid crunch. I'm all for that. I am all... Okay, there's all the testers. Yeah, no, you got to avoid crunch. Like Hades was my game of the year for 2020. And that was a game that, as far as I'm aware, they were very anti-crunch. It was, you know, they were going to take as long as they needed to make the game as good as they thought it could be. And it showed. Special thanks, Film Victoria, Epic Games, Re-Illusion. Tom Holland. Acknowledgements. Translator Ovid's Metamorphosis. Made with Unreal Engine. Dedication for Martha Pierce, whose steadfast love and support made this game possible. Now, do I have to hit something now? I think so. You know what? I'm going to tweet at the developers because this was super good. So, thank you everyone for tuning in. Like I said, I don't know when the next stream is going to be. I'm going to shoot for Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know what game it's going to be, but I hope you tune in for it. As always, I super appreciate everyone for watching. I hope you have fun. And yeah, please take care and have a good night.